YouTube, this is BA Life-Adelic, aka Glenn. Are you thirsty? Are you in an SHTF situation? A long-term emergency situation? Would you drink that? We're going to show you how today. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, this is BA Life-Adelic, getting ready to make a water filter. I'm going to show you all the parts and then we'll show you how we put it together. Check it out. Here's all the parts. This will be the last stage, but the first stage to go in, charcoal. The third stage, second stage to go in the bucket, sand. This will be the second stage. But the third thing to go in the bucket. This will be the first stage. And the last thing to go in the bucket. You can use an old t-shirt, some window screen material. I got that to put in the bottom of the bucket just because I thought it was badass. We got these two buckets. One will contain the material, one will catch the water. So we're gonna have to start by drilling some holes in this one, and then we'll mash up these briquettes and we'll be on our way. Ha ha! We gotta cut up this material, put between the layers. drill these holes in this bucket. Next step is we're going to wash the material and then start setting it inside the bucket. So I'll show you the first step and then we'll put it on time lapse. So there you go. Put a few rocks in a bucket and Bob's your uncle. So I'll point out some of the things about this particular water filter that I want you to know. So obviously the water goes in this end, and then I'll set it down here, and I set it in the next bucket. I use this basket got from the T-Boost, and usually folks will drill a hole in here and put a tap, a little faucet in there so they could drain the water out of there. But I'm not going to store the water in this bucket. I've got a separate water storage system that I'm going to use, and I'm not worried about the buckets being food grade because, again, I'm not storing the water in these buckets. So I'm going to filter the water through into that bucket and then put it into a different storage system. So let's test it out. We'll see if it'll filter this out and about how long it takes to filter it. So here we go. All right, let's check out the result. Now, I'm not going to drink that water straight out of that filter like that. I'm probably going to boil it, or I'll use one of my other filtration systems. I have Life Straw, a gravity-fed Life Straw system, and a couple of little personal straws also. So I wouldn't drink it straight out of that. I just want to use that filter to remove the sediments from the water, to get it cleared up, and then I'm going to boil it or use a secondary filtration device to get rid of the bacteria, viruses, and whatnot in there. So keep that in mind. So we're in the YouTube studio. Today we're going to talk about the water maths. So everyone says that people are going to need a gallon of water per day. So in your situation, you'll need a gallon of water per person per day. So over a period of 7 days, if you had 2 people, you would need 14 gallons of water. Now, if you're going to add in cooking, if you're going to cook rice, you cook your freeze-dried foods, you're going to need a little more water. So I'm just going to take a guess, and I'm going to say another half gallon per day. That would be for both people. So over 7 days, that's 3.5 gallons. So far you're looking at 17.5 gallons. So, and if you're talking about a long-term, full-on SHTF, you're gonna want to take a shower now and then. So I'm gonna figure if it's an SHTF type of situation, you can figure in maybe 2 showers a week per person, and I'll guess about 2 gallons of water to take a shower. So that would be another 8 gallons. So that's 17.5 plus 8. So you're gonna look at 25.5, and we'll make it 26 gallons. So you're going to have to get 26 gallons of water per week. You're going to have to filter it, and then you're going to have to store it. So that's what you're looking at if you're in a situation. So you're going to have the capability to get 26 gallons of water. If you could do it all at one time, that's pretty good, but you're probably going to have to do it a little bit at a time. You're gonna have to find that water runoff. If there's rain, if you can get a rain collector, you can get it all kinds of ways. If whatever government is in charge or whatever organization, if they have a water point, whether it's a bulk water point where you take a collection device, a bottle, bucket, whatever you're going to use, collect it from there, or if they're handing out bottled water. If you know where a place like that is and you can do it, certainly you should do that. I would. Now, to facilitate all that, you're going to have that time. Now, it takes about 3 minutes to run that quart of water through your filter, your homemade filter. So 4 quarts in a gallon, so it's going to take you about 12 minutes to run a gallon. If you need 26 gallons, you need 26 times 12 amount of time to get it. Plus, for me to get the water, the place where I would have to get that water takes me about 5 minutes. Would take me about 5 minutes to walk there, and it's probably going to take about 30 minutes to fill up the container that I'm going to use, which is 5 gallons. So I'd have to make that trip, which is 40 minutes. I'd have to do that to get 26 gallons. I would have to do that 5 times, roughly. So 5 times 40, just to collect the water. If you do that all in one day, you could, if you had enough places to store it. Or you could do it roughly every day. Go and collect 5 gallons of water a day and filter it all. Just become part of your daily routine. But that's what you need to think about when you're thinking about water in those kind of situations. So, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.